And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Market Reflection Wednesday, February the 8th. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Day's over. Time to relax, reflect, do your homework, think about the trading day, what you did well first, and maybe what you didn't do so well. The S&Ps, equities, stocks overall closing lower. We're expecting Walt Disney earnings to come out here anytime. A couple other, it's a long list today. Top of the afternoon, of course, is the Walt Disney stock earnings and revenues due out. Haven't seen it just yet, but the equities closed lower today. S&P's unofficially down about 47, 1.1%. The NASDAQ down 234 points, 1.8%, and the Dow down 200 points at 0.58%. The Dow held up actually a little bit better today than the other equity futures. Crude oil, the EIA came out just as expected today, pretty much 2.4 million barrel boost as expected. And crude still continued to march higher. 78.47 up about $1.30, about 1.7%. Fed's Waller is the most recent talking Fed that was speaking today. He had a couple of things to say. One of them I found very interesting. Rates may stay higher for longer than some are expecting. And I think maybe that's a little bit in the markets to some degree. No sign of a quick drop in inflation so far, and the economy seems to be adapting well to higher rates, and certainly in that case, more needs to be done. We've got some economic data due out tomorrow in the form of jobless claims. We also have the natural gas report. There's a bunch of shorter time frame bill announcements and auctions throughout the day tomorrow. I don't see right now any major talking Feds scheduled to speak tomorrow. It doesn't mean that it's not on this current list, and they can always change things as they decide, I guess. So we're going to take a look at these charts here shortly. I always like to just kind of take a deep breath, relax a little bit after the close, and think about the trading day. We had a pretty decent day in make hog money. We had a nice long off the failure to continue to extend the range to the downside today. Had a nice little winning trade. We took a loss, I think, on one, and then we had two lot that we took a piece off relatively quickly, and then we got out of the second one, I think, pretty well. So positive day in make hog money. Thank you all very much for that. And make sure, as always, hit that lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome here on the Market Reflection. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notifications when we do go live. I'm going to tell you, folks, I think that there's some discussion of perhaps sunsetting the market reflection at the end of the day. I don't know how you guys feel about it. It doesn't bother me to sit back, relax at the end of the day and talk trading with traders. It's just what I do. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Good afternoon, Kevin. Always a pleasure to see you. George. My Lacey is right in the middle of the room. Lazing around. I think she's tired today for some reason. Maybe she was up too late watching the State of the Union, or maybe she was out drinking with my brother last night. I don't know. ZK, good afternoon. Have traded well. Still on my break. Good to see you, though. Started a small LLC with my time off. Nice. It's good to see you back. Thanks for checking in and letting us know what's going on with you. Anissa, good evening. Brett, gonna move to Missouri. Come over for dinner. We're only a couple hours from Branson. I have some friends that have a place on Table Rock Lake, very close to Branson. We actually go visit them there quite often. It's beautiful there. It's one of the things we're considering moving to when my wife retires from her second career. She's health administrator at a local high school, and she can probably get pretty close to retiring in another year or so. So we're thinking about making a move. I don't know. We'll see. If we do come to Missouri, I'll let you know, Brett. Bill, good afternoon. You love the reflection. You like the reflection too, Jason. Well, thank you. That's good. I think it it gives us a little bit of time to kind of unwind and see what's happening and see what happened and take a look at what we might be looking at for tomorrow. And your wife lived in Branson, so we go there often. Let's see, we were there twice last year. We went, I think, in March for about a week and just kind of hung out with our friends. And we went to the Titanic Museum in Branson. And then we were back there in July, and we just lolled in the lake the entire time. So it's beautiful. Love it. It's a great area. Love the hilliness. Love the lake. Gotta love the lake, right? And we'll probably be heading back there at some point this year again. It's about a 550 mile drive. It takes us, I don't know, 7.5 to 8 hours, something like that, if we don't stop too much. If we've got the center of the universe, Lacey, with us, of course, that takes us probably an extra hour. But she's really good in the car. Jason, from market prep to make home money to group coaching, and the reflections gotten you into a good routine through the day. Well, good. Thank you for that input and feedback, Jason. We appreciate you, and thank you for letting me know. All right, let's take a look at these charts. We'll run through them and take a look at what we're seeing, what we thought about a little bit this morning, and take a look at what we might be thinking about for tomorrow. So, crude oil, still coming off this excess low here. Chinese demand still continuing to be the specter that keeps price moving higher. Back into range, back into longer time frame range. Here's the 30-minute chart. Opening with a gap. I think we actually talked about this morning. If we can't close the gap relatively early, we look to go in the direction of the gap. A gap close is sometimes supportive. Look where this market went to. It went right back to settlement, right to close the gap, right to value high. No sign of acceptance inside value. The market turns and continues the move to the upside. Now, this is 9:30. This is 10:30. 9:30. It took a stab to the downside. Looked below the current day session low, rejected that, and finished the day up near the highs. Look at that. Oh, I should have been paying attention. Sometimes I just get too much going on and I miss these things. And we even called that this morning on the prep. Here's the S&Ps. Yeah, we came off today, but we're still very range bound. Our little auctioneer is pandering here. This is doing a lot, I think, to even out inventory. If we got too long above the December high here, we're doing a lot to even out that long inventory. You'll be looking for something to change here later as the week goes on. And I mentioned on Monday that I was thinking we were going to learn something in this market this week. I don't think we've learned that much, but except for the market has gone range bound. Got 2 days left. I'm hoping the market doesn't make a liar out of me. I'm looking for eventual acceptance above the December high. JD Royalties commented on something we put on his Twitter today. It failed again. We did not accept above that December high. Are we going to find opportunity to the downside? Are we going to stay in this potential bull flag for a while? Take a look at this. So lower highs, lower lows, kind of creating a bull flag. We know the market has come up to this. Volume has been relatively It's been okay. It hasn't been great. We've been losing open interest. This morning on the preliminary bulletin, it said we had almost no change in open interest. That proved to be wrong. We actually lost about 3,700 in open interest on this up move yesterday. So losing open interest to the downside, losing open interest to the upside. This market it's evening inventory. Instead of a deep pullback, sometimes a consolidation can be just that. So I'm really going to be interested to see price above that December high, 4180, to see if maybe we can get a check of weekly kickoff high or even points higher. I don't know. We're going to have to stay tuned to as the market turns. Do the S&Ps accept above this December high? Do they continue to reject and we get a deeper pullback to the downside? Stay tuned. So here's that bull flag. Here's our TPO chart for today. B shape. Lost open interest yesterday. Even though the market moved higher, we had a B shape, a normal variation extreme, but we closed higher. We rejected our late spike. Excuse me. Let me drink some water here. Hang on. We rejected our late spike. The market rotated lower, accepting below the late spike, accepting lower pricing. Didn't accept by that much. We almost got to this point of control down here. Almost. Within about 10 ticks of it. We may check that. NASDAQ. What did we do as far as open interest? This morning, it said we added 3,200 in the NASDAQ. We actually added only 2,200 in the NASDAQ. So some buyers perhaps coming in, getting baked today. Volume, again, weak. 30-minute. I don't have the trend lines on here, but we may be creating a bull flag in the NASDAQ as well. Here's the TPO chart. B-shaped. If we don't have a long liquidation, if we don't lose open interest tomorrow, I'll eat my hat. Just seems like this market has lost interest. Something's going to change, though. What's going to change it? Gold. Bear flag. Big time. Low volume. Little ranges. Opposite the most recent market activity. Little ranges. Low volume. Opposite the most recent market activity. We accept below this trend line. I'll be looking for an opportunity. Here's the TPO chart for today. Range bound, normal variation, excess on both sides. Shrinking, isn't it? Was looking for an opportunity to get up here for a chance to sell something. Didn't get there. Higher lows, lower highs, coiling. What did the open interest actual come out at? Minus 1,500 a little deeper loss in open interest than was on the preliminary this morning. Here's the euro. Just magnetic towards weekly kickoff low. What a nightmare to trade this is. You're thinking, all right, long above, short below. Long above, you get stopped out. Short below, you get stopped out. Long above, you get stopped out. Short below, you get stopped out. Just a nightmare to try and trade when these markets get close to and adhere to the weekly kickoff low or any weekly kickoff level. These are just nightmares. It's the worst thing that can happen. There's no decision. The longer time frame has made no decision at this level just yet. It's going to change. We know that. It's the one thing about these markets. They are always changing. Here's the TPO chart. Range bound, normal variation, upper extreme of the initial balance, the extreme high of the regular trading hour session. Thick, 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 prominent point of control. Change is coming. Change is coming. And again, I feel like I sound like Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Here's the 10-year. We weren't all that impressed with yesterday's activity to the downside, were we? And we only added about 7,700, and that's on the estimate. Let's look at the actual. Added 6,300 on this move to the downside. We had a pretty good addition in open interest. Open interest still increasing, but not by as much. Get a nice pullback here today. Here's the 30. Is that a nice pullback, or is that just stuck in value, stuck in range? What's the TPO chart look like? We knew we had a weak low. We tested that and left excess. You know, a little bit of a excess at the high here, but we also had a weak high yesterday. Range bound. Hard to trade. Hard to trade. Well, our buyers are taking a little bit of heat here in the natural gas, if you'll pardon the pun. Yikes. Opening in range and value. We get a kind of a test up near the high of value from yesterday, but boy, sellers sure took this thing over again today. Very interesting area for an execution down here. Here's the TPO chart. We had a late spike. We rejected the late spike. It makes sense. Price didn't get a chance to accept up here. Opening below it marks rejection of higher pricing. The market goes lower. The double distribution trend day with a poor low. Yikes. The downside may not be over in the natural gas. Sure hope my bills are smaller. I didn't know that the COT report didn't come out. I didn't hear that until Kevin Laffey was talking about it this morning on the prep. Don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. I haven't heard anything that they have any plans to release them late even. So we may be waiting till Friday before we get those again. And hopefully we will get them on Friday. The first NFL draft was today on February 8th, 1936. At Philadelphia's Ritz-Carlton, University of Chicago halfback Jay Berwanger. The first Heisman Trophy winner was picked as the number one overall by the Philadelphia Eagles. His rights were traded to the Chicago Bears. I remember this. 1986. Spud Webb, who was 5'7", won the dunk contest for the NBA. I remember that. It was wild. 1994. Jack Nicholson smashes a windshield in an episode of Road Rage. I think he got lost in his role in The Shining and went a little bit crazy one day. As far as music is concerned, today is Dan Seals' birthday. Seals and Crofts. Summer Breeze. Really love to see it tonight. Dan Seals. Happy birthday, Dan. He has happy heavenly birthday. Vince Neil's birthday is today. 1961. From The Crew. Motley Crue. 1964, on their first full day in New York, the Beatles, minus George, who had a sore throat, went for a photo op walk around Central Park. Over 400 girl fans followed the Beatles, and extra police were called in to control them. Crazy. 1968, the Band of Joy, featuring John Bonham and Robert Plant, made their first London appearance. We all know where John Bonham and Robert Plant ended up. 1973, Max Yasgur died of a heart attack at 53. We all know and love Max Yasgur because it was his farm in Bethel, New York, where Woodstock was held. Huh, 2005, Kylie Minogue is voted the sexiest woman in her 30s by UK magazine Good Housekeeping. My goodness. Alrighty then, that's about it. So for me and Jack Nicholson, have a good night. Get some rest. I know I'm going to. Again, I was up too late last night watching the goofy politicians. So I'm going to get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's Thursday. Jobless claims 7:30. And that's going to be about it. We're going to be left to our own devices as investors and traders tomorrow. We have the Michigan sentiment on Friday. So again, we are left to our own devices as investors and traders. It'll be an interesting couple of days. Get some rest. Be kind to yourselves. We work hard at this. You deserve to be good to yourself. Be kind to others. Say a prayer for peace. And I'll see you in the morning. Blessings to you all.